What's going on, guys? JT here and welcome back to the channel. Today we have an interesting article from USA Today talking about the future of Epcot from one of Walt Disney World's top Imagineers. So let's get right into the article here. The headline stating, "This isn't the Epcot you remember. Top Imagineer explains why the park will never be completed." So as we go down into the article here, it states, "Epcot has changed. Future World is gone. Now neighborhoods are taking shape, and it's hard to envision what's next with the construction walls obscuring one of the largest transformations in the Florida park's history. It's a lot for longtime Epcot fans to take in. Scott Malwitz, executive creative director of Walt Disney Imagineering, gets it. We are Epcot fans as well," he said. "I was here a couple weeks after opening first year and had the opportunity to visit, and I was just blown away. Many years later, to be able to come back and lead a team thinking about how to set the park up for the next 30 years is just incredible." So they go on to say, he pulled back the curtain for USA Today on Disney Imagineers' plans for Epcot's future and homage to its past. "You have to go back first, right?" So it goes on. So here is a concept art picture of the World Celebration of Epcot, and as we go down here it says, "Epcot goes back to form. Walt Disney's vision for the experimental prototype community of tomorrow was an actual city of progress, where people lived and worked and travelers visited, marveling at the possibilities of American ingenuity. Epcot went in a different direction after Disney's passing, but Imagineers revisited his ideas for inspiration for the park's current transformation. What were they thinking? What challenges were presented? What weren't we able to do that was part of the original version?" Malwitz asked. So there is a picture, concept art for Walt Disney there at Epcot. It says, "If you look on the floor of Connections Cafe and Eatery, which opened last year, you can see some of the vision and renderings of concept art for Progress City. Those kinds of little tone pieces, little homages to our own history, are also going to be reflected in this project moving forward in many different ways," Malwitz said. Easing the brutalist design, "One thing guests can expect is more open spaces like Walt Disney envisioned for the residents of Epcot. Guests may already notice a shift away from what Malwitz referred to as 'we need a big building, a big building, a big building,' and the brutalist architecture that prevailed when the theme park was built." So here's an image of that flooring they were talking about there. Goes on to say, "The problem with brutalism is that unless you introduce the art piece, it just becomes a giant sculpture that you don't know how to relate to," he said. "I think that's what happened with some of our buildings over the years, and now we're going back and peeling back." Imagineers are removing physical barriers and leaning into the park's hyper symmetrical organization, another signature of Walt Disney's original plans. They've opened the line of sight from the land all the way to Mission Space and completely transformed what was original Common Core East, then Innovations East. The difference is striking, as you can see. Between that used to be Electric Umbrella and what is now Connections," Malwitz said of the bright and open dining space. "It's the same building, it's just different materials, different applications, different sensibility." There's the picture there. "What are the 4 new worlds at Epcot? Former Future World is now carved into 3 different neighborhoods: World Celebration, World Nature, and World Discovery. World Showcase marks the 4th neighborhood. I think Future World was a concept that was difficult to understand. I think the only reason it becomes easier to discern is that it clearly wasn't World Showcase," Malwitz said, "so it's time for us to think about it differently." World Celebration sits front and center, extending from Epcot's main entrance north, belling out toward World Showcase. World Discovery sits to the east, incorporating Mission Space, Test Track, and Guardians of the Galaxy, which opened last year. World Nature sits to the west, incorporating the land, the seas with Nemo and friends, and the journey of water inspired by Moana, opening later this year." So here's kind of the breakdown of each section. World Showcase, the big part here with kind of all the countries. Then we have World of Nature. This is where you'll see the journey of water inspired by Moana here on the World of Nature side. World of Celebration, the middle part here where the ball is, and it kind of breaks up into the World Showcase. And then on the left side, World of Discovery with the Test Track and stuff like that over there. They go on to say, beyond common themes, neighborhood-specific graphics will tie areas together. World Nature leans into greens, Malwitz said. World Discovery leans into warm reds, and World Celebration leans into kind of the Epcot blue, but really a different expression of that. World Celebration will give Epcot's festival programming space to blow out their ideas, something they've never been able to do before. According to Malwitz, the neighborhood's new Commucore Plaza will feature a garden with seating and space for guests to enjoy entertainment from a covered performance stage, snacks from festival kiosks inside the plaza, or simply conversation. We can host something as small as a violin duet or a Burning Man installation, he said. So here is a concept picture of what they have going on there. As we go down, adjacent Commucore Hall will offer roughly 8,000 feet of climate-controlled exhibit space for additional festival offerings that won't depend on Florida weather. What better place than in the front, right? Malwitz said, on grade, accessible at all points, and then the space itself as well is subdividable in two, so we can actually have two different sets of programming happening at the same time. Oh, and by the way, that programming can then be broadcast to the external component, to the external courtyard, or shared in whatever format we'd like. Our opportunities shouldn't be limited by our facility, so let's let our facility help us get where we want to be. So here is another concept art image of an exhibit. So pretty cool stuff there. We got some Inside Out. We got Figment. Pretty awesome stuff there. And then it goes on to say, the building itself will be embedded with LED paneling so that we can change color, we can pulsate, we can reflect what's happening in there, Malwitz said. We can defer or lean into any programming that is happening on Spaceship Earth and kind of create that celebration, create that connection. Two other World Celebration areas of note are Mickey and Friends, a permanent location where guests can meet Mickey Mouse and his pals, and Dreamers Point, which will feature a new statue of Walt Disney. So here's the Mickey and Friends area where you'll be able to meet, Mickey, Daisy, Minnie, all the gang right in there. So that's pretty cool to see. As we move into World Nature, we'll invite guests to celebrate the Earth and think about their relationship to it. These great pavilions, land and seas, tell that story and can continue to tell that story in the next 30, 40, 50 years, Malwitz said. The addition of a wonderful interactive experience like Journey of Water even deepens that, enriches that. This self-guided outdoor trail will teach guests about the importance of water while they'll playfully interact with it like Moana. Its relationship to the Seas Pavilion, I can't wait for people to see that, Malwitz added. It's hard to see now, but it's really kind of locking in this whole idea about stewardship and connectivity with the planet that we live on and share with everybody. So pretty cool stuff there, connecting it to nature and then bringing it back also to Moana and some of the stuff that happens in the movie there. And then, of course, World Discovery leans into Epcot's original themes of innovation, ingenuity, with the added ingredient of adrenaline. All three of its attractions get guests' hearts pumping. Let's energize ourselves about innovation and ingenuity and exploration, Malwitz said. Get all that energy over there. So, of course, Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind, one of the top coasters right now at Disney World. For now, the newest attraction is Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. Disney is reevaluating the concept of its previously announced Play Pavilion, which had been added for the former Wonders of Life site. So, last but not least, looking ahead, Walt Disney said Epcot will never be completed, but will always be in the state of becoming. Even though its incarnation as a theme park wasn't quite what he imagined, he was right. Imagineers went into this current transformation thinking about how guests will interact with the park for decades to come. They know that guests will continue to change our behavior, will continue to change the way we interact with our parks, but also our personal devices will continue to change, Malwitz said. How can we set the groundwork for continued evolution, but also keep it focused on Epcot messaging? That's what they're working on behind those construction walls. So there you guys have it, a pretty cool breakdown of what's to come in Epcot and a big, overhaul that they're doing at that theme park. I'm really excited to see some of this stuff come to life. The last time I was there, we saw, like they said, a lot of walls and construction going on, but this could be really changing the game for Epcot. I know for me it wasn't, my top park, but some of the changes they're making here is really awesome, and I think that it's going to continue to develop over the years. And of course, Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind was a fantastic addition to the park, so I'm excited to see how they continue to grow and innovate for this theme park. But in the comment section below, guys, let me know your thoughts on this. And as always, make sure you smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.